All right, everyone, we are here with a special guest actor, Sam Heughan. Welcome to the show, Sam.
Thank you for having me. It's been a minute. I wanted to come and see you guys for a long time, so we made it.
I know. We wish it was in person, but thankfully we can see you on our big screen in our podcast room.
Ooh.
So that definitely helps. And yeah, like Rhea said, we're very excited. You have a brand new travel show coming out, kind of. It's like a docu-series type thing. It's called Men in Kilts, a road trip with Sam and Graham. A nice little rhyme there. Tell us about this show and what you guys are doing.
That's right. Yes. Well, I think right now, especially, it's well timed. You know, people obviously can't travel as much as they'd like to, and throwing my mind back a year ago when the world was in a different place, I decided I really wanted to learn more about Scotland and to create my own TV show, because I've been working on Outlander in Scotland and really sort of fallen in love with like the Highlanders and Scotland and Scottish culture. And so over a number of weekends, decided to sort of go out, film a bit to make a pilot. And thankfully, S.A.S, Sony picked it up. And it's called Men in Kilts, and it really is. It's a road trip with myself and Graham, my good friend, and we go around Scotland. We look at the culture, the music, the food, the history, and then I try and put Graham in very precarious situations where he's unhappy and quite upset.
Yeah, it must have been a real blessing to do that now, since we were just talking before we started. You're in Scotland. You've been on lockdown for a while, but it must be great that you got to experience all of this right before it happened, basically.
Yeah, you know, it's we were shooting, obviously, the pilot while I was shooting Outlander, so it was kind of crazy. We're doing like weekends up north in Scotland, but it was the summer, and it went really well. And then we came back to sort of finish it off, and we were just really lucky with the timing of it all. We managed to finish the show, and it's 8 episodes. It's a lot of fun. We're driving this camper van, as you guys call it, an RV around Scotland, and we meet lots of interesting characters and go to some really beautiful places as well.
What's one of the craziest things you guys did on your trip?
Oh, wow. Well, as I said, you know, I like to wind up Graham. If people don't know Graham, I would say he's the yin to my yang. I think, or the chalk to the cheese. I'm like. He seems
a little grumpy. Is that a mean assumption?
I was trying not to use that word.
Not to use the word, but okay.
She did it for you, so you're good.
You're in the clear.
You did it. I don't get in any trouble. No, he's an absolute sweetheart, and he looks terrifying. He's got this beard, and he plays, you know, a lot of very tough characters. But actually, deep down, he's a bit of a pussycat, and. Amongst this sort of rough exterior, he really is very soft. And I just like to wind him up, really. So he's more of a history buff. I think I'm more of the, you know, action adventure kind of guy. So it kind of worked out really well. And so I put him in a couple of places. We did abseiling. We actually went surfing in Scotland. And I don't know many people know that surfing in Scotland. It's freezing, but beautiful. He did obviously complain.
Obviously. What was it like? Because you are usually playing a character, right? You're an actor, so you get a script, you do that, but this is just you being yourself. So were you a little nervous about that at all?
Do you know, that's a really good question. I think, yes, I was. You know, I'm used to having a script and being in this drama, but obviously I created this show and was producing it. And I think, you know, just the freedom of being the boss was really fun. And every day I just wake up just so excited. I mean, I was drunk most of the time. You know,
that's Scotland, the way to do it.
We're drinking whiskey. But no, it really was. I really just loved every moment of it. And then, you know, even after shooting the show as well, going into the post-production of it, the credits and designing the graphics of it, and just every step along the way, it's been a really fun process.
So you've been involved with every step of creating this show.
Yeah, I mean, I literally got a crew together when I was here in Scotland initially and went out and just shot it. And then we managed to sell it and finish it off. We brought in another production team, and everything from the edit to you know, the final finished product. So it really has been quite a journey. So I'm really proud and also nervous to see what people think of it. You know, do people want to go on a road trip with myself and Graham and be trapped in our camper van as we career around Scotland? I don't know, but I think people enjoy it.
I'm sure they do.
I think people will, because you guys also released a book towards like the end of last year, right? That kind of coincides with the actual road trip situation, Clanlands, whiskey, warfare, and a Scottish adventure like no other. So that's like, did you guys write that on the road trip? Is it about the road trip? Like, do people, if you read the book, do you kind of get some inside scoop before you watch the show?
Yeah, it's a good question. Well, so we were writing the book actually in lockdown, and it basically tells the story of the first road trip we went on when we made the pilot episode. And it basically goes in a lot more depth into the history of Scotland, but actually also ourselves as actors, a lot of anecdotes, a lot of stories about us growing up, or, our personal lives as well. So it is a lot more expansive. There's a lot more room there to sort of really go into the history of Scotland and the culture. But yeah, you'll see elements of the book in the TV show as well.
Love that. And the book was a New York Times bestseller, so I feel like that is a good sign for the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really surprising. I think we were writing this in lockdown, as I said, and he was in New Zealand, and I was obviously in the UK and in America. So we're opposite sides of the world. So we were writing remotely. And as we were writing, I could see he would be online at the same time as me and writing stuff about me or writing stuff about the situation. And I'd be like, that's totally wrong. That's nonsense. So actually it became like this, dare I say, a conversation or more an argument. And that's kind of what the book is like. You hear every side from both of us. Each situation, we both have our own way of describing what happened.
Yeah.
Right. He's the kind of friend, it seems, that you can get into an argument, you can get into a fight, but in the end, you guys are always going to be friends.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, he really is an absolute sweetheart. He's a very, very close friend. I think this brought us even closer together. And you need to go on a road trip. You need to go with someone that you really adore. And we're very, very close. And I just love to see him wound up. I love to see him bluster and lose his anger. But deep down, yeah, we're very good friends, and we hope to do it again as well.
And people losing their anger is great for TV. That's why we love watching reality TV shows and that sort of thing. It's like you watch people
TV
in their
gold,
element,
right?
and
and I
great.
think there's a little bit of a stereotype around Scottish men like Graham who feel like they have look like they have a really hard exterior, and then when you see them on the inside, it changes your perspective a little bit.
It does, and we actually put that to the test in various different ways. And there is a sports episode where, without giving away too many spoilers, but we compete with each other. And part of that competition is we go to the Highland Games, or the home of the Highland Games in Braemar, where we do tossing the caber and sort of throwing the hammer and various other things. So yeah, and there's also a bet at the end of it to see who wins and who loses. So it's a lot of fun to see him, try and beat me.
Sam, I'm curious as to like the beginnings of Outlander, because Outlander is such a huge show. It's fantastic. It's been on 5 seasons now. And I love Outlander. Rhea knows. Obsessed with the show, been obsessed for a long time. And I wasn't really aware of the full culture around it until I started watching, and then I started to read the books, and then I started to kind of see the fan nature around a franchise like this. They're so dedicated. They're so dedicated to the characters and the story. When you first kind of auditioned for the role of Jamie Fraser, what kind of pressure was there for you? Like, did you realize how massive the love for Jamie was before the show even started?
You put it very succinctly. I think no one would know the love for Jamie Fraser. It is, if I'd known about it, I'm not sure. I think I would have definitely thought twice, because he's such a well-loved character. He's one of those characters that people have read about and made their own. And Diana's written so many books about him and Claire. And I think, we were just very lucky that the fans really welcomed us in. They told us when we went wrong, but they also tell us when we go right. And we're so thankful, because they always support us. They support us each season, but also, when we're outside of the show, we do other movies or a charity that we support as well. They always get behind us. So really, it's down to them. It's down to their support that it's been so successful, and long may that continue.
Yeah, how did you feel personally about it with a cult following like that? Obviously, it changes your entire life.
It's kind of hard to describe, but it does change your life. And I think I feel it more so when I go to America, maybe. I don't know if that's because Scotland, we're maybe a little more quiet, or we don't let people know. I mean, I think Scotland was slightly slower to catch on to the Outlander or the Outlander effect, but certainly in America, it's crazy when you see a billboard, of yourself where people recognize you. It can be surprising, but it's lovely. I love it when people come up and say hi, and it's certainly a part of being in a show like this that you'd never imagine.
Yeah, and what's cool now is, obviously Outlander is on Stars, so if you go and watch it there, but also with Outlander being on Netflix, it has kind of introduced a different audience to it as well. I believe season 4 actually just came onto Netflix this week, which is, huge. Because people wait, if, maybe you don't have a subscription, things like that, they wait for it on Netflix. Season 4 is on Netflix now, but there are 5 seasons, and it's been a little bit of time now, and I think a lot of people we know a season 6 is coming. We've been told that it is happening at some point. But do you have any information on when we would be getting a season 6?
Yeah, come on, tell us. We're your friends.
Sure. No, it is happening, and it will be out at some point. But you're right. The show is now obviously on Netflix as well, and I think it's really brought another audience to the show and given it a new life. And you're right, people can go to Netflix, they can binge it all, go over to Stars and watch season 5 and 6 when it's finished. So we're excited as well. It's been too long. We had almost a year off from last season, so we're excited for people to finally get season 6.
Is this the longest break that you've had in between filming seasons? Because you guys, starting from season 1 ongoing, it was pretty consistent of like the time of when new seasons would be released. Is this the longest it's been since you guys have filmed?
Yeah, I think it is. We generally have about 5 to 6 months off, I think. Myself and my co-star Katrina have been really lucky to do other projects as well. And I managed to fill this one with a lot of work. So for me, it didn't feel like it was a big break, but I know that, by the time we get post-production done, it will be a longer break. Right. But yes, we'll get there eventually. We will overcome this.
Yeah. You just mentioned other projects, which is funny because you did a movie with Priyanka Chopra Jonas, who is coming on our show right after you today.
She is?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's fantastic. She is the best. I had such a blast. I love her dearly. She's such a sweetheart. She's extremely good actress, really intelligent. And we had a blast. We did this romantic comedy, which is, at the moment, it's called Text for You. The name might change, but it also features Celine Dion. Yeah. And it was just so nice to work on such a sort of sweet movie. And also, she loves tequila. So I introduced her to my whiskey, and she let me drink her tequila.
Yeah, Sam, we had a night.
Or Nick's tequila, I should say.
We had a night with Priyanka and tequila. Like we met them, we hung out with them, and she was like, "Let's do tequila shots." And so I feel like you said it. She loves tequila.
She certainly does. There's a couple of photos that I'm sure she's got on her phone that I'm hoping she'll never show anyone. But she is brilliant. We had such a laugh, and the whole cast was terrific. So,
and
I'm excited for people to see that.
You guys just finished filming that in London, right? Or I'm trying the timeline wise, because I feel like London also, I believe, is completely shut down besides like essential services and filming. Priyanka has done a bunch of interviews recently, so I've seen her talking about the process and whatnot. So it must have been pretty crazy to try and film a whole movie in a city that's kind of shut down.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's slightly amusing to me when, I guess, only essential services are open and film and TV.
Right.
But I guess we're providing a service, and we were very, very careful. We're very lucky. The production company, literally, we were tested every day. We had different bubbles. They were very, very strict to make sure that everyone was kept safe, and we were. Luckily, everyone was good. So, but it was weird. We're in this sort of I don't know, sort of Twilight Zone of like no one's around, but it gave us the run of London. So yeah, it was great fun to film there.
Yeah. And like you said, this is a romantic type movie. You have also done some action type films recently as well. Bloodshot came out last year too.
You guys have done your homework, haven't you?
Yeah,
wow.
you know,
we must.
And you know, one of us may watch all the things that it says.
Yeah.
So yes, I've seen that, and you know, the action stuff is really cool because I think that, you know, you get to do a lot of awesome things on Outlander, but it's obviously in the past. It's historic. It's swords. It's very more old school. The action stuff's a little more in the now. Would you say you like doing the action type roles? Because I feel like those have got to be pretty fun.
Oh, do you know? I mean, I love the action stuff. Absolutely, it's great. And the movie you're talking about is called S.A.S Red Notice, and it comes out in March in the UK, and I think across the world. It's so fun, but the best part of it is when you go to work, you're in makeup for 15 minutes and you get to wear a pair of jeans and a t-shirt. Yeah. It's awesome. Whereas Outlander, you're covered in mud, there's wigs, there's kilts, it's hours in makeup. So it was really nice just to rock up and get going. But I'm really, really excited about that movie. It's a lot of fun. It's got a great cast. It's got Ruby Rose, who's terrific in it, Andy Serkis, a whole host of other people. So I think people enjoy that.
Yeah. You've been very busy.
Yeah. And now that you've done Men in Kilts, are there any other projects that you're personally working on for yourself, and writing and directing and producing? Is there anything new coming from you?
There is. I'm working on another book, and I have a couple of things that are sort of talking about producing, possible, lots of other projects. Yeah. So I guess watch this space, but it's about, you know, trying to obviously deal with what's going on in the world right now. But it's been great, and again, Outlander has really given me this opportunity to explore other projects and to do other things. So I'm very thankful for it.
You've covered so much within Outlander because there's so many different kinds of scenes and so many different moments. Were you kind of aware of what you were being thrown into? Because, you know, it's funny now seeing everyone's talking about Bridgerton, right? On Netflix, it's like Bridgerton. They're talking about the sexy scenes in Bridgerton. Right. And I'm like, what? You guys clearly haven't been watching Outlander because Outlander did it first.
I mean, I'm sorry. Now, Bridgerton, I mean, it's for children, right? Yeah. I mean, have you watched our show?
Yeah, that's PG compared to Outlander.
No, but they do it really well, and you know, and we are a completely different show and a different relationship. But yeah, I mean, you know, I think we've always kind of pushed the boundaries in that sense. We've basically explored a relationship, you know, and we've not looked away from that. And I mean, there's been some intimate scenes. There's been a lot of those, and it's a really important part of the books to show the relationship, but also an important part of the show. So I'd say if you like Bridgerton, go and binge Outlander.
It is funny because I do think that I saw some people, I was going back and forth on Instagram, who said when they finished Bridgerton, like the you may also like is Outlander is like the number one thing if you hadn't watched yet. So that would make sense. It's a fantastic show, and I mean I have almost too many questions about Outlander to ask you, but out of probably the biggest one that I'm curious about is you've had to do so many like extremely intense scenes for Outlander. What do you think has been the most gruesome? I know that's kind of an intense word, but there has been some that are, for a viewer, it's sometimes hard to watch. Like, what do you think has been the hardest one for you to film?
I mean, you know, the beautiful thing about Outlander is that it always changes. Every season is different. Yeah. Every episode sometimes is completely different. And for an actor, it's been a total joy because you're always challenged by new things. And our characters have gone from Scotland in the 1700s. We've been through battles. Yep. We've been to France. We've been to Jamaica. We've been to, we're now in North America. We're now settling there. And we're, you know, really sort of a road trip through history, really. But yes, as an actor as well, everything's challenging. And I think season one, the end of that is really tough material. You know, my character gets assaulted and and it's pretty graphic. And I think it was a different time when we shot that. I'm not sure people would show as much as they did then.
Right.
But for me as an actor, yeah, it was a real challenge. And I don't know if people are aware of that happening or have seen it, but yeah, I think if you're going to watch it, just be prepared. It's pretty tough viewing.
Yeah. And right now, we always say this with the people that we interview that have new shows coming out or shows that, just went on Netflix or whatever it is. It's the perfect time to binge something because, people are on lockdown. It's the perfect time to just start Outlander if you haven't.
Yeah.
And also watch Men in Kilts on Stars.
Yeah.
Go do it.
I recommend
exactly.
Yeah, I recommend Outlander to all my friends, and it's funny because my mom had started watching it a while back, and I was like, Mom, you're gonna love it. I'm not going to watch it with you, but you're definitely going to love it. She was so excited that you were coming on the show, and I think
it's time. I think it's time to bring it up.
I have something to show you. Now we have actually met.
Is she here?
No.
She would not be allowed
to bring
in this.
Oh my God, she wishes. No. So you and I have actually met before. In 2016, you were doing an appearance at the Barber store in Manhattan on the Upper East Side. And you did like a meet and greet. There was like 20 people in the store. You could take pictures with you. Noah can pull it up on the screen if you can see it behind you. This is us. This is from 2016. I waited in line to meet you.
I need to zoom in. I can't see it.
Yeah, it's probably for the best. Yeah. Your hair is much longer. I feel like
my hair's so much longer, did I try and kiss you there? I think it's graceful.
Now I don't take. That's me. I'm pretty sure I made you kiss me. So I'm pretty sure that was my doing. But it was funny because it was really like me with a bunch of women that were a little bit older than I was. I would think I was like the youngest one, and these older moms who were like, do it, ask him, and I was like, oh my God, very flustered. But it was awesome. You were very sweet then. You were very sweet now. I think it was obviously this is. I love
that you got not one but 4 picks.
Yep,
it's fantastic.
Yep. The Barber store really covered all their bases. They made it seem like They made it seem like we were in a photo booth in like a carnival.
Fran showed me this, and I was like, "Are you guys best friends?" Because this is. I feel like I'm going to be missing out on something in the interview. Like I'm kind of like a third wheel to this friendship.
Yeah. Look, like I said,
we go way back.
Yeah, see, 2016. I have been a fan for a long time, which is why we were so excited for you to come on the show. And it's also to make it about me. It's a cool moment for me going from this girl to kind of the job that I have now and getting to talk to you this way. So it's all very cool.
I love it. It's just such a shame that we can't see it. We'll have to do it in person. We'll have to recreate those.
Yeah, I hope so. When you guys
4 years later.
Yeah, you must. I'll take the photos. Don't worry.
Hopefully when you guys finish Outlander season 6 and you do some press for that, we'll be in the right time where you can come visit us in New York.
Agreed. And bring your mom as well.
Yeah. Oh, she probably will show up without me inviting her. So.
She's going to be so excited you said that.
Sam, thank you so much for coming to talk to us. Everyone can tune in to Men in Kilts, a road trip with Sam and Graham on Stars. It releases February 14th. A beautiful Valentine's Day gift to all of us out there. If you're looking for something to watch, this is the perfect way to start.
Yeah. Thank you, Sam, for joining us.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much. It's really nice to talk to you guys. And hopefully next time we'll do it in person.
Yeah. Thank you.
Have a good Valentine's.
All right. You too. All right.
All right, guys. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Sam.
Thank you.